Yo, what's up? Elmakias here again, music photographer dude from San Diego, and today you are going behind the shot, behind the scenes, behind the photograph. I don't quite know what to call it, but you are going to be a GoPro on my camera, get a first-person point of view of what it's like to be a music photographer at 21 Pilots concert, and it's going to be sick. Here's my camera, here's my GoPro, you are here, camera is here, you are going to follow along with me as I take the photos. Now not only are you going to see the video footage from first person point of view, I'm going to narrate it for you. So I'm going to talk you through what I was thinking, my thought process behind each image, what I like, what I don't like, what gear I was using, all the things like that. This is good if you're looking to become a photographer, maybe a music photographer, maybe something different. You can kind of just get a little peek inside my mind and what it's like to be in my shoes. Because it's really hard to explain to somebody, but what I know how to do is show people. I'm a photographer, that's what I'm good at, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you, try to teach you a few things, and hopefully, maybe you don't even like photography, maybe you just enjoy the video. So, that's all I got for you, and here we go. So 21 Pilots came to San Diego a few weeks ago, went to their concert, and I photographed the whole set. So that means from the start to the end, and I took about 2,000 images, and from those images I selected about 80 or so to turn into the band, and from those images I selected 10 more that I wanted to share with you, share the story behind them, and tell you a little bit more information on them. Now I've been to a lot of concerts, and maybe you have too, but I know not everyone has been to tons of them, so I figured I'd give you a little bit of a layout of the venue. In addition to that, all venues are different, so I want to kind of help you get your bearings straight, because you're going to be in first person point of view for most of this, so you gotta kind of know where you are. Map the venue. Here we go. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. Well done, man. You're a true artist. Thank you. I appreciate it. Perfect. So this is what I came up with, and it's like this, but you're seeing it like this. But if you were watching it from the back of the venue, it'd be like this. So we've got the stage. That's where the band performs. We've got this area, which is kind of where the crowd goes. We've got B stage, which is the second stage they have in the middle of the venue. We've got front of house. Now the part I didn't draw is there's people all around here. So basically in front of the stage there's people, and those go up like this, and it's arena, and it dips down. So it's a big arena. I think it's like 10,000 people or so, and that's the basic layout. So I'll try to show you throughout the video where everything is, but I just want you to kind of have an idea going into this where you'll be. So I hope that helps you, and I'll try to explain as we go. Well, so here begins another day of shooting. Today's 21 Pilots, and 21 Pilots is my favorite because they treat me well. They treat me really well. I barely even know them. Well, I do know them, but I mean, I haven't toured with them. I've only shot single shows for them. And regardless, they still treat me like family. So I parked a little ways away. Said reimbursement parking, but I try to save that money where I can, so you know, I'm not gonna make them pay for it if I don't need to. So I'm gonna quick run to the venue and see what we got today. Alright, so we're at the 21 Pilots concert, and basically I'm getting ready to take this photo of Josh. He's the drummer, and I'm using the 70-200 Canon f2.8 lens, and I'm shooting at a slower shutter speed, so I'm trying to get some motion blur in here. And you'll see me kind of getting my gear ready now, and I'm gonna aim it at him, and it's pretty hard to see because he's so far away, but I'm zoomed in a lot, and I'll just basically try to creep in on him. I'm taking a bunch of shots right now. You can't hear it, but I'm shooting a lot of photos, and eventually I get this shot. And I like this shot because, well, Josh is out of focus technically, and that's okay. You know, the drums are in focus, and that is what I really like. I like that the drums are in focus, and I like that he's blurry. And he's blurry both out of focus and for motion blur. And that's okay with me. My shots don't have to be technically perfect. I'm okay, they're my photos. I take the artistic part of it and I embrace it. They're my photos. 21 Pilots has me there because they like what I do, and if this is something I like, then that's what I'm gonna do. So I took this photo, got a shot of Josh. I really wanted to get him moving because I think it shows how hard he goes, and he puts a lot of effort into his drumming, and sometimes I think freezing a drummer or freezing a musician doesn't really do them justice. So I feel like this really captured what I wanted from him, and I'm just happy with how the shot came out. So you can see now I'm kind of fiddling around with my gear. I'm moving around. I have my think tank bag on, and I switch lenses from that. And sometimes basically every time I switch my camera, I have to switch my GoPro too, so it's a little bit hectic. Theoretically, I need to get 2 GoPros, and I need to just basically record both of them the whole time. And after I get these first shots, I basically just go around and start getting more photos. Alright, that's all I got for this shot. On to the next. So for this photo, it was kind of difficult, and you can see again I'm shooting with that Canon 70 to 200mm, so I'm getting some pretty close-up shots. I'm zooming in and I'm kind of separating the artist from their surroundings. And for this shot, I'm trying to get a photo of Tyler, and Tyler is playing his bass in this song. He doesn't play his bass in everything, and I wanted to get a nice shot of him. I was shooting from the right over here, and it wasn't really working, and in addition to that, the lights are going crazy. It is hard to get good photos, and he's going crazy. You can see him kind of running around on stage before this. But when I finally do get the shot, I love it. And basically at the end of the set, the lighting kind of slowed down. You can see there's just that one light behind him, and I wanted to get him with that light. And I love how this looks. I love the layout of it. He's centered, the light kind of comes from the side, it's in the back, it kind of looks angelic, and that's really what I was going for in this. I just wanted a nice shot of him. It's really hard to get when the lighting is just going, so I waited for it to calm down, and then at the end there it just faded. I don't know if you saw that, but when it faded I got a few shots of him there, and they're a lot more moody because they're really dark, and this is what I ended up liking. So I chose this shot. I think it shows him really nicely, it's in really good light, everything's really well lit, in focus, and I just like this photograph a lot. I also should add that sometimes when you're shooting into light like this, you get a glare on your camera, so it's a little bit tricky, you gotta play around with it, but I take a lot of photos. I'm literally just like taking tons of photos, moving around, trying to get my shot. Because with the concert, you never really know what you're gonna get. With these shows in particular, I did kind of try to count the light. So you can see a lot of the lighting from here on out will move with the beat of the band, and that's because everything is programmed. A guy programmed everything to these songs, and he operates it every day, and it's perfect. And he's a really good lighting designer, and it's good for photographers because we can kind of tell when what light is going to come. So, gotta use it to your advantage. Everything you can get. So before we go any further, I want to just let you know those shots were taken from, the first one was right here, so I'm off to the side kind of shooting at the stage. And the second one was right here, so I'm kind of in front of him shooting at the stage. This next one is going to be from the audience. If you can see the highlighter, it might be too bright, but I'm going to be right over here shooting at the stage. So like I said, I was in the audience for this shot, and my goal was to get kind of what it felt like to be in the crowd of this show, and how cool it is to be in the crowd of this show. And I knew at this part of the song there was going to be cryo, and what cryo is basically CO2 jets, and they look insane, and they fill the sky with basically a smoke that quickly goes away, but while it's there it looks amazing and the light really captures it, so I wanted to get that from the audience. In addition, I wanted to get, hands in the air, and you need crowd participation to get hands in the air. So I'm always thinking ahead a little bit, what's coming up, what can I snag, and for this one I wanted to get that. So I went to the audience and I made sure to raise my camera up, get just a little bit above the crowd, and grab my photos. I'm really quick about this because I never like to block anyone's view. In the crowd it's a little bit more okay. If you're in the barricade and you're blocking somebody that's front row, not as nice. But if you're in the crowd, it's fine. Usually somebody can just kind of go like this. They can move around. There's a little more space. So got the shot. Love this photo. I changed it from being blue to being more orange and warm tones because I thought it was a really fun photo. And the blue is just a little too relaxed. You could make it more cold tones or something like that if I wanted to, but this is just what I ended up going with. You can see after I get this photo, somebody asked to take a photo with me, and I told them no, because I don't really take photos to people during the show, even if I have time. I think it's kind of a little bit rude for me, somebody working for the band, to be seen in the crowd taking a selfie with someone, and I gotta get ready for photos that are coming up. And if I say yes to one person, I gotta say yes to everyone. So I apologize in advance, but that's basically, I just can't do it during the concert usually, so just know that. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm just trying to respect the artist and that they're on stage. So in those first few, the band was playing on stage, which is usually where a band plays from. In these next one, the band is at what's called B stage. They have a whole separate stage set up in the middle of the venue. So for this next shot, I'm actually photographing them from above the crowd that's sitting on the side. I'm standing all the way up on top and shooting down. And to be honest, this shot isn't my favorite. I don't really like it very much. But sometimes at a concert you have to take photos that kind of get your job done, but don't necessarily fulfill, my personal needs. And this is one of those shots. And I wanted to kind of capture and show that the venue is huge, and they have a stage in the middle of it. And it was really cool because everybody had their cell phone lights on as well, so that adds a little bit extra to it, a little bit something more. And you want to capture those moments that people want to hold on to forever, because that's the point of a photo, is stuff that happens at a concert only happens for 1 second. But with a photo, you can continuously experience that 1 second of pure like, this is awesome. And that's the cool part about it. And people put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of thought into these productions, and I want them to be appreciated. So that was kind of the idea process behind this image. You know, I had to run up the side. I'm pretty fit, I like to think so, and my incentive to working out is being like, you need to run up these venue stairs, you gotta be able to do that. And that's what happened here is, last moment I was like, oh, this part's coming, I need to run up, I need to grab this photo. Everybody had their lights out. The one downside about cell phone lights over lighters is that cell phone lights only shine forward. And lighters are awesome because they shine 360, cell phone lights 180. So if you're behind people, you don't see their lights, and that kind of, it's not as cool as a lighter, but everybody has a cell phone at least. Not everybody has a lighter, and sometimes they don't even allow them in venues. But this is the shot I like. I took it with my 20mm Sigma lens. I'm basically using 3 lenses. I'm using the 50mm, the 20mm, and my 70-200. The 50 and the 20 are both Sigma, and I love them because they're prime lenses, which means they're very sharp, and they have a very shallow depth of field, so they both open up to 1.4, and that allows me to really separate the artist from their surroundings, and it gives the image an extra like nice crisp, very clean look, and I love that look. So that's why I'm using these lenses. 70-200 is more for reach, and it's just a great lens all around. You know, I need to get close to the artist sometimes, and that is not happening with the 50mm or 20. They're a lot wider. So that's my thought process behind the glass I'm using. Hopefully it makes sense to you. Well, I guess I can just show you these lenses. So this is the 70-200, nice long lens. This is the 50. Ta-da! And you can't really see the 20 because I'm filming with it right now, but thank you 20, we appreciate you. Sorry, I shake you, I'm sorry. For this image, Tyler gets up on the crowd, and they do this several times during the show, and I think it's awesome because not a lot of bands get that close and personal with their fans. But 21 Pilots have a really devoted fan base, and it's cool. So here you'll see him basically going side to side, kind of amping up the crowd, and I was getting photos here and they look cool. You've got to look for different lighting on stage, and for these shots, I'll run back over. For these shots, the lighting is illuminating the whole stage behind him, so if you take them, you get a really nice depth to the image. And I didn't end up using these images, but I liked photographing them, and I liked how they look, and I learned to look out for that in the future. So you'll see here now that Tyler is going to get down off the stage and climb into the crowd, and now is my chance to kind of figure out where do I need to be to get this photo that I want. So he climbs down, and there's some steps on the barricade for me too, so I can kind of climb up and get the shot. I don't want to get too close to him. I don't want to block him from the fans. I don't want to block any fans. I also don't want to be too far away to where you can't really see what's going on. I want to see their interaction. But at the same time, I can't get in the way of security, or if there's crowd surfers, I gotta watch out for that. So I have to kind of have my head looking around. And you're not gonna really be able to see me getting this photo because of how my GoPro gets angled. I was kind of struggling jumping up on things, but you'll be able to see the moment I take it at, and I'll tell you when that is. So he climbs up on the crowd, and I climb up on the barricade because I want to get above the crowd. And the light is beautiful. You have the whole crowd illuminated, you have a spotlight on him, and you have light from all over, so everything's bright. And I know because of this, I can get a shot with him and the crowd in it. So I'm shooting wide, I'm shooting my 20mm, and I stand up on the barricade, and I'm trying to find a moment where I can get like a pretty big ah shot. So right here, he's gonna scream, San Diego! He screams it, spreads his arms out, and I get that photo. So that's the photo I ended up going with because I think it represents, it's a very powerful moment. You know, if an artist does something and kind of freezes there for a second, it's usually a good shot to take. They'll look awesome, the crowd will look really into it. It's just like a powerful shot, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those images, like I said, that I want to freeze in time and I want to capture forever. So that's what I'm doing here. And I love this photo. I love that you can see the crowd. I love that you can see him. The lighting in it is perfect. Thank you, LD, for making my light beautiful. LD means lighting designer. He's the guy who runs everything. Thank you. So I usually keep my bag a little bit out of the way of everyone, and I stash it somewhere, and I keep my lenses there. I used to carry my cameras on me, but I don't prefer it so much anymore because I run around a lot. I go grab a different lens if I need to. The downside is I can't switch like this, but the upside is I could pretty much just run back and get a new camera just as easily as switching it back and forth. So that's what I do, and I like it that way. That's just how I prefer it. I like having one camera in hand one camera stashed, and it allows me to just be a lot more versatile, mobile, and I feel that I don't miss the shots I really want as much because I'm able to get to the area I need to be very quickly. So just like Tyler gets down in the crowd, Josh also gets into the crowd. And I know when these points are coming up because obviously you need to plan these ahead of time, so I'm ready for him. And I know at some moment Josh is going to get up and start walking down to the barricade, and I need to be ready for that. So I'm not going to have my 70 to 200 millimeter lens on me because that's for zooming in. I'm going to have a wide lens. I'm going to be prepared, and I'm going to be metered. So I'm going to have my f-stop how I want it, my ISO how I want it, and I'll change the shutter speed according. I know it's going to be bright because he's going to be in the crowd, so I don't really need to worry about my ISO. I'll probably keep it at 200 or 400, something safe that if it does get dark, I can usually bump my shutter speed down to compensate, but if it gets too bright, I can just as easily bump my shutter speed up, and that keeps it quick. So you'll see here Josh is going to come down into the audience, and you can see them kind of putting the drums up there, and I'm going to wait for him to jump down, and then I think I jump up. I think that's what happens, yeah. But first he's gonna jump down, and as he's coming down, I'm ready. I'm looking at him, you know, he's the focus. I'm ready for anything, and cool enough, he looks at me. Sweet, get a photo, I'm ready, in focus, grab that shot. To me, that's really difficult. To me, this is what took me years to learn. The stuff I didn't even know I needed to know. There's a big pile of stuff in this world that you don't even know you need to know, and this is one of them. Be ready, ready to focus, have your hand on the trigger, and he leaned over for a few seconds, grabbed the shot, done deal. And that's kind of where I get my shots that I really love. So now you can see Josh getting up on the crowd, he's doing his thing. I have some shots of this, but it's kind of hard. There's a lot of spotlights on me, and now I'm standing on basically an amp behind him, grabbing these photos, and I'm climbing around. And my rule is I don't really go on stage when the focus is the stage, unless I'm trying to get one big crowd shot, but if they're in the crowd, then I'll go on stage a little bit. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm kind of creeping around, and I'm getting ready to get another shot here. So, just to put it in perspective, he's standing on this barricade right here, looking out. I'm standing by the stage, shooting at him. I'm above him, I have a good vantage point, but I'm really waiting for just like, remember that moment that I want to capture. So in a second here, I run, I move, I climb on top of something quickly, throw my camera up there, jump up, grab the camera, and again, this is why it's good to be mobile. He gets ready to throw his stick, I got the shot, perfect. And all the lights are on, it's really nice, everything is illuminated, and that's what I'm going for, just these big shots. You want to make these shows look big, they are big, but that's your goal, is to represent that, because the band always wants to show people, you know, this is how well we're doing, and it's not in a cocky way, it's just an accurate representation of their current state of their band, of their career, and of their, you know, that's what they've been working their whole life for, and they're proud of it. And they're proud of everyone that's there, and they want it to be represented, so that's what we're showing in that photo. So I like those photos. I like them because they include the crowd, and to me the crowd is the most important part, but it also includes the artist, which everybody loves to see. So I like these photos, and yeah, on to the next one. Here we go. Alright, so this next image comes up pretty quick, so I want to give you a little walkthrough here first. So I'm shooting from this next one right in front of this B stage, aiming at the stage, and I'm standing on a barricaded area, which basically gives me an extra foot or two above the whole crowd, and it puts me kind of at head level, which is nice because I get the hands, but I can also get the full stage, and that is good. It kind of represents the atmosphere you're in, you know, with the crowd, but at the same time shows the artist, which is my subject. And here we go. So like I said, this one comes up pretty quick, and basically I'm at front of house right now, or a little bit in front of it, right by that stage B, and I'm shooting the stage. And you're not going to really be able to see me get the shot because I'm so far away, and I'm shooting with this lens, but I'm zoomed in, he's throwing his arms in the air, and I get the photo. There's nice light all around him. I edited this so that his hat was the only thing in color, and I never really used selective color, but I liked it for this photo. I thought it was cool. Sometimes it's cheesy. Usually it's cheesy, and I would go ahead and say this is probably the first time I've ever used it in my whole career, and I like it. But again, one of those moments where he's just frozen in a great position, got the shot, and I usually try to shoot from front of house for at least 10 minutes every show. Sometimes I'll set up a remote camera there and shoot the whole set from the same angle just to get a nice stage shot with all the lights. And yeah, front of house, great place to shoot from if you have permission, especially with the long lens. You can really capture some unique images that represent the whole stage. Now this next shot we have coming up here is gonna come pretty quick and you're not gonna really be able to see what he's doing. Look at the monitor though, you can tell. He's running, jump, and we get the jump shot. So that's pretty cool, and shooting from front of house kind of gives you the ability to move around quickly and get anything. If I was shooting in the pit and he started running and jumping, I couldn't really change where I was. I would just have to be like, okay, this is the angle I'm getting it from. But because I'm at front of house, if he goes to the left or the right of the stage, I can really change my shot from anywhere I am and get it without having to worry about something being in my way. And that's the good part about it. The zoom lens really allows me to get up close and personal and kind of, you know, if I was shooting with a wide angle lens, you wouldn't be able to see that jump. It would be just like that GoPro, you know, where you could only see it because it was in the monitors. So having the zoom 70 to 200 is really key for getting those shots. And I like the photo, it's cool, he jumps a lot, but that doesn't make it any less amazing when he does it and you get to capture it. So, sick. So I'm still at front of house here, searching for more images, more things I can create. And this next shot I'm gonna get is portrait mode. So my camera is sideways. And of course, if I do that, it messes my GoPro up. So I apologize, you might have to go like this. But I had to get the shot, and I very seldom shoot in portrait mode because it just doesn't look right to me. I just love landscape, and I can crop it the other way if needed, but you can't go the other way around. But in this shot, there was so much information going on, I needed to get vertical. So I wanted the ground, I wanted the piano, and I wanted his full body and a little bit of light in it. And the light is just beautiful. And I saw that light when he stood on the piano. I was like, oof, gotta get photos of this. So I corrected my exposure, got the image, and edited it to be very moody. It shows his silhouette, which I think is beautiful. I've gotten this shot a few times before where he's stepping off of the piano, and I just absolutely love it. I think it just looks so nice, and again, Thrill D makes these possible. I couldn't do this without the amazing light he creates, and that is really what is key to photographing a 21 Pilots show. Don't get me wrong, they're good performers, but the main thing is that they have amazing production. And I know they've designed some of it themselves, but their lighting guy really pulls it together, and thank you. It's amazing, well done. We're already at the end of the show. I don't know how it happened so quickly. It's been maybe 25 minutes now, but it went by fast. I hope you enjoyed it. But there's 2 shots left, and before this ending, I just want to show you what you're kind of gonna see, but you don't know you're gonna see. So for this last shot of them, when they're on the crowd with the confetti, I shot with 2 cameras. And the other camera I used is actually filming this right now, so I can't show you, but I'm using my old 5D here. Basically went like this. And why I did this is because I shot it with a 20mm and a fisheye lens. So I had my Sigma 16mm 2.8, and then the other one I had my Sigma 20mm 1.4. And I shot it with both because I love fisheye, but at the same time I love the 20mm, and I couldn't decide. So I needed both shots, and I basically just went like this, and I pressed the bottom one with my pinky. And I was just like, ch-ch-ch-ch. And what makes this possible is I have these nice little straps here. They're called Spider straps, I think. The company's Spider. And they basically attach it to my hand real nice. So I can always drop my camera, pick it up, and it allows me to not really hold it, but hold it if I need to. So it's a lot easier because these things get pretty heavy, and that's how I shot it with 2 cameras. But basically just mash the buttons as this happens. So let's go ahead and watch it here, and I'll walk you through it. So we're back up in the barricade. So right here, the band's on stage. They're gonna jump on the barricade towards the crowd, and I'm basically figuring out my vantage point. So right now I'm still on the ground, but once they get in the crowd, like I said, that's my okay to kind of get on stage. And I still try to stay hidden. Like I'll usually stay right behind them so that, you know, the focus is still on them. I'm never trying to steal or distract from a show, and I take that very passionately. So I'm climbing on the stage here, set my cameras down, their drums go up, and I gotta kind of keep an eye out for where they're getting down from so I don't block them. And also have to keep an eye out for any other things that might be going on. So they come up to the front and they talk about something, I don't know, Tyler, that was awesome. So, Josh, yeah man, I had a really good time. Alright, let's go kill it. Yeah, go, break. So they go out and they go on I climb up, there's these handles on the amps that I usually put my feet in, jump up, throw my cameras, and I kind of get my position, and I stay ducked down. I'm like hiding out. I'm literally like, alright, ready to get my shots. And I have my exposure set for both of them. I set my focus for both, so that's what you see me doing right here. So they're both going to go into basically, I don't need to focus anymore. Confetti comes. I'm a little bit late here. I missed it a little bit. but then I get it. So I'm shooting 2 cameras. And the shot you're gonna see is with my 20mm. I also have the fisheye shot. I don't like it as much. Maybe I'll show it to you here, but that's the shot I got. And basically shooting both cameras. I'm just looking in the 20mm because it's a little more restricted, and the fisheye I know if I aim and shoot, it's just gonna come out. So I'm probably going like this, moving it around a little bit, getting the shots. And the GoPro's all kinds of crazy right now because I can't really concentrate on it. It's like one of these moments where these are all awesome shots, I gotta get it. And what a cool ending to a show. Let's just say that. I've been to a ton of concerts, hundreds, probably not thousands, but getting close. And this is cool. Like, they put a lot into the show. Everything is awesome. It was an hour and 45 minutes, so they get a workout every night. I respect the hell out of this band. They care. So now I'm getting off the stage, they get on. As soon as they get on, I'm off. They do a bow at the end, and I know that, so I'm ready. Grab a photo, and they're bowing, and I think Tyler looks at me, pokes Josh, we'll see, says, yeah, hey, look. They do a face, which is cool. I love interaction. But what's even cooler to me is this. They're smiling at each other. And to me, that's like true. That's like real emotion. That made my night. Like, not only is that like a good moment for them and their fans, obviously they're experiencing that moment, this is sick. You know, this is like real emotion. They're stoked. They're happy. You can't fake a smile at each other like that. They're just best friends doing what they love for a living. And you gotta respect and honor that for people, because it's really easy to become a large band, become a little jaded and not care, but they care, and I think that's cool. So yeah, that's all I have for this shoot. I hope you enjoyed the images. If you have any questions, as always, leave a comment. 20 Pilots, great band to shoot. They make you look like a good photographer even if you're not. That was good. That was sick. Good photos, good set. Wow, good band, good crew, good people. I'm ready to go home. I don't know if we're gonna make a video with this whole thing, but if we get the okay from the band. Alright guys, that is all I have for you. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Post this around if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, post it around and say how much you hated it. I don't care. I'm just trying to spread a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of fun, and I hope that you guys had a good time. Alright, until next time, keep shooting and have a good one. Here at the Aztec Recreation Center catching Pokemon, and we just found the Magmar. I'm getting pretty used to it.
I found it.
He found the Magmar. He is Mark. This is Brad.
Hi.
Guess whose phone's dead? Brad.
Brad.
Guess whose phone's not dead? Adam. Guess who's gonna use my phone? Brad. Yep.